When life surprises you with things that you thought you had a little bit more time for, you just work a little harder. Hi, this is Kelly with Kelly's Creative Dream Studios, and today we are working on putting together the pages for the Pink Christmas Journal. And I also wanted to show you that I have completed all 3 of the tags, and I've done them all a little differently. This one you saw, where I had done the stitching lines with my permapen. Then you saw the one that we just did that I didn't do anything to, the one we did together. And then this one I finished up today while I was watching Dear Julie Julie. And this one I used another one of the stitch stamps in that stamp collection to do a different stitching on there. It has the herringbone on it. So I now have 3 tags done. There will be more. We'll be doing another one next Tag Tuesday. But life got fun today, or well, yesterday. I knew that I had a writing conference coming up this month. I just wasn't looking for it to be this coming weekend. So I'm working really hard today as I'm recording this on Tuesday and Wednesday to get all the videos done up through Sunday. So that's where we're at with this. Okay, so today we're talking about pages, and I have put them all together. Now I've done the pages for the, let me reach up here, put this down. I'm using paper pumpkin boxes where I broke down all my paper pumpkin kits. These are the perfect size for a journal. So this is what I've been using, and this is what I base my pages on. They need to be, well actually they need to be 7 by 9, but I'd have to have 14 width paper to do that, and I only have a 12. So my pages are 12 by 9. In some of them, others they're not. But these are the pages I chose from the collection, from that paper pad. I'm going to turn them this way. Yeah, so I've got room to go this way. And I'm leaving the backs white so that I have plenty of writing space. So we have that one. We have the ornament. We have the sparklies. We have the filter. We have a plain. We have the fur, and I think this is supposed to mimic Santa's fur on his coat. And we have this one, this poinsettia. Now I'm going to show you this one and something else here in a little bit, something very similar. And then there's this variegated pink snowflake. Now those are the pages from the paper pad that I'm using, okay? Now I'm going to set these down, and I want to leave this one on top so we can show it again. Let me get to it because it vanished on me. There it is. I want to hang this one off, lay it on top, and I'll pull it back in a minute. So I have those pages. Then I have 3 pages from Dear Julie Julie's Pink Christmas. Now I would have used more, but I wasn't crazy about, some of them had too much of a filter on them, and that it gave it more of a vintage look that I'm using. But I have this one, and then on the back, I printed this, and this is one of the digitals from Ginger Journals, and I'm going to link her down below, because wait till you see more of her pages. But that's what I chose to put on the back. There will be one Dear Julie Julie digital in each signature. Then I have 3 big doilies. Now these are the medium-sized doilies. These aren't the great big ones. The big ones would be too big for the journal. Then I have 3 pink envelopes. Now these are going to be page insertions, and then I'm going to have 3 pink envelopes that I use as elements within the journal. So we have those. And then I have these, and while the lines are blue, the paper is white, and that is perfect. So I've got those. And in a minute, we'll slide everything together, but I want you to see. And then there's these. Now, these are more of that background journals from Ginger Journal. But look at the fronts. Aren't those gorgeous? I want to do an entire journal just in her stuff. This one looks like it could be Santa's Village. and that pink rose, and then this one with the hot cocoa and the candies, because you know somebody's going to put those out for Santa, right? So we have those. These are going to be my center signatures. Now I am going to have to trim them down. So I'm going to pull up my Stampin' Up! One here because it glides so much smoother, and I'm going to put my cheaters on so that I can see what I'm doing. Now maybe that wasn't the right idea. And I'm going to cut one of these down, and we'll put together one of the signatures. And I think I'm going to leave that edge because I may wind up putting something on there. But I want you to see how these are going to go together. So my videos for the next 4 days are going to be very short. The video you watched this morning on Tuesday, 25-minute video, it only took my Wi-Fi 6 hours to upload that video. It drove me nuts. I got up at 3:30 because they recommend for stuff to be done between 2 and 8 a.m. because that's their slowest bandwidth time. So I got up at 3:30 and set it to upload. It took until 9:20 for that to finish uploading. I was so irritated. I'm going to set that one aside. We're just going to work on one of them right now. Oh, wait a minute. I do need to I want to take this off the top. So let's set this in here. Slide that just to where that hole gets taken off. Just like that. And then I'm going to hang on to those. Those might come in handy. Okay. So then I'm going to use one of these. Now, let's see, I'm going to use a pink envelope. And normally I would put those to where they'd go here, but what I want to do is I want to run them the other direction. And I'm going to do them like this, so I've got pockets at the bottom. So these are, I guess I should have measured them. What would be my center? I'll do a little tick mark here. What would be my center? I love my centering rulers, and I have a couple. This one comes out just shy of 3 1/4. I have a couple of these from Maddie. I've got one that's a Tim Holtz centering ruler, and then I have one that, then I have one. So they're going to come in at 3 and right there, because I want to be able to send that one to fold. Envelopes take a little bit more oomph than regular paper, especially if you leave that pocket there. So I'm going to take and burnish that one. So yeah, at 9:20 this morning, today's envelope video finally uploaded. Tuesday's video. I was not happy when I got up at 8 o'clock and found that it still hadn't gone anywhere. Now remember, I want to make this one the center signature. So I'm going to go here. And I think we're going to go here with this one, with the envelope. And then I want to come in with one of the doilies. And in a minute, I'm going to have a question for you. So the reason I'm going crazy right now is I have a writers' conference that I was thinking was next week. Oh no, it starts this Thursday. I have a writing retreat next weekend. So, yeah. I thought, well, I guess I best get busy and get these uploaded, huh? So I'm going to be in a video making frenzy for the next 36 hours. I've already warned Bob that I'm probably going to be pretty much non-existent. Okay, then I have these from Dear Julie Julie. And I love this pink lined paper on the back. So I'm going to do this one because it's here. And we do need to trim it off just a little. But I'm not sure. So it's going to be a shorter paper too. Just need to take... And you know, I don't think I am because I think I can put a trim on there. I think I'm going to leave that. I'll take the bottom off. that. That one I'm not going to keep. And I'm going to take a little bit of the top off. So it'll be slightly shorter than the other pages. And you know, when I first started doing junk journals, it took me forever to figure out that my pages didn't all have to be the same size. It was so weird. And actually, that one really needs to fold. I guess it does need to come off or it's going to be a funky page. Yeah, it was really hard for the OCD in me to get over the fact that my pages didn't all have to be the same length, the same width. Now the reason I did that is because I want this color up above against that doily. And then I have the pages from the pattern, Let's go ahead and do this one. Let's do this one. And this will be the cover of each signature. So I'm going to do that. And I'm going to come back with my bone folder. Now here's a trick, and I've showed you this I think on cards before, and I got the tip from Ardith. If you burnish one side and then flip it over and burnish the other side, you will get a smoother lay on your paper or your card front. And there's going to be one signature. Now let's see how it lays in with everything else. And yeah, that's going to be, I'm probably going to wind up snipping the tips of those off, but otherwise we're good. Otherwise we're good. So let's go ahead and snip those off right now while we're here. So we know they have to come off because they're going to stick outside the cover. I don't mind laces and trim sticking outside the covers, but I don't like paper sticking out because they don't handle as well. So there's going to be our first signature in our junk journal. Now when I cut those pages down, I did have the bottom pieces, and these are going to be great to use to create side tucks, bottom tucks, pockets, that kind of thing. So we'll be able to use those. So that's going to do it for today. I will be back here tomorrow with a card. In the meantime, leave a comment down below and tell me how many signatures do I usually put in one of my journals. Thanks for joining me today. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and creative Christmas blessings.